given this triangle, and it says X, Y, XW, YW, and ZW are perpendicular bisectors. So let's go ahead and mark these. XW and YW and ZW are perpendicular bisectors. So the perpendicular sign is there, but the bisecting part is not. So go ahead and mark these. Okay, so that means whatever EY is, FY is the same length. All right, so then it says W is the circumcenter. Because we used perpendicular bisectors to reach that, then it is the circumcenter. If you look on the back of your first page of those that we did, what do we know about our circumcenter? And it says our circumcenter is equidistance from the vertices. So which means these lines that come from W that touch each corner is the same thing. And I've got to use 4 because I've already used 1, 2, and 3. So they're the same length. So whatever EW is the same as DW and FW. All right. Then it says YW is 42. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. YW is 42. DE is 106. From D to E, this whole thing is 106. And then FW is 70. So F to W is 70. Now YW and FW are not the same. One goes to the side, one goes to the vertex. So it wants us to find EY. So let's look at EY. Let's look at EY. So what do we know, and I did the wrong one, about EY? All I know right now is that FY is the same. FY is the same as EY. But I do notice that there is a triangle made right here, and I have 2 of the sides, and I'm missing 1, which is this side. Is this triangle a right triangle? It is because of this right angle. If this angle is right, so is this angle. So this is also a right angle. So now I have a right triangle. I don't know this side. I know this side is 42, and I know this is 70. So 70 is my hypotenuse. I can go 42 squared plus x squared equals 70 squared. So then I would subtract 42 squared here. Do not do 70 minus 42 squared. Do 70 squared minus 42 squared. You're going to get this number, and then you have to take the square root of it. And when you take the square root of it, you will get 56. So here's 56. All right, now we're looking for DW, which is this one right here. DW has 4 slashes on it. If it has slashes on it, it's usually telling us there is something else that's the same. Is there another one that has slashes on it that we know the value? Yes, we do know that that is the same as FW. So what's the value? And you can tell me what that is. You can write that down. And then we're going to look at ZE. What do we know about ZE? ZE is half of 106. 106 is what DE is. ZE is half of that. So we're going to take 106, divide it by 2, and you get your answer. Here we have a triangle, and it says ES, FS, and GS are all angle bisectors. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to mark those. If all these angles are bisected, you're going to mark those. It doesn't matter how many you put in as long as it's the same amount for both angles. All right, and then it says S is the incenter. If you remember, the incenter is made with angle bisectors. So that's how we get that that's the incenter. Then it says QS is 22. Let's go ahead and mark that. QS is 22. GS is 27. And the measure of angle QGR, which is this angle right here, both of those put together, is 52 degrees. And the measure of angle PES, which is this one, is 46 degrees. So that's only part of that big angle. G is the whole angle. So we're going to have to find a couple of angles and one segment. So let's look at PER. PER is this whole angle. Well, we know that this part of the angle is half of that whole angle. 46 is half of it. So if we take 46 and we multiply it times 2, we get 92, and that's what that whole angle is. And then we're going to look at angle PFS. PFS, which is this part right here. So I know my whole triangle, one whole triangle, all my angles together are 180 degrees. Well, I know the angle E is the whole big angle that we just found is 92. And I know that the big angle G is 52. So we need to figure out what is the big angle F and then find half of it. So if I take these and I add those together, I'm going to go 92 plus 52, and I get 144. Now I'm going to take 180 and subtract that. So subtract 144, and I get 36. So this whole angle here is 36 degrees. I only want half of it. I only want this half. So 36 divided by 2 is 18. And then we're going to look at PS. So if we look at the back page of the back side of the first page, we're looking at our triangle centers, and we're looking at incenter. We know that it is equidistant to the sides. So if S is 22 from this side, then it has to be 22 from every side. So PS is 22, and whatever units it is. In this problem, J, N, K, P, L, M are medians, which means they go from the vertex to the other side, and they cut the other side in half. So we could go ahead and mark these, that those are all the same. Okay, and then it says Q is the centroid because the centroid uses medians. All right, and then it says KQ equals 4. So I'm going to go ahead and put 4 here. LM, this whole thing, and I'm going to draw a line so I know I'm talking about the whole thing, is 36. I'm just going to move it out of the way. And then QN, this part, is 8. So this part right here is 4. So it wants us to find QM. So if we remember from our centroid, the line that starts at the vertex and goes to the centroid is 2/3. So this is 2/3, this is 2/3, and this is 2/3. And then the one coming from the centroid to the side is 1/3. And I had you write down how to find it if you had 1/3, how to find it if you had 2/3. So let's look at this. We know we want QM first. We know this whole thing is 36. And QM is the part I want to find. This part right here. So I'm going to take, we didn't write this down. I'm going to take the whole thing and I'm going to divide it by 3 because I want one of them. So 36 divided by 3 is 12. Okay, now I'm going to look at JQ. JQ is 2/3. And I'll even do this part. JQ is 2/3 and NQ is 1/3. I have one of them is 8. How many is 2 of them? So 8 times 2 is 16. Then we have the last one. It says find QP. So I have my 2/3 right here, which is 4. I got to find my 1/3 then add it. So 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So now we're going to go 4 plus 2 and you get 6. Okay, here we have a triangle and it says J, K, and L are midpoints of the sides. So let's go ahead and mark this, that these are split equally. And it says, let me get a different color, XZ, this whole thing is 28. KL, which is this one, is 40, K to L, it's 42. And YZ, this whole thing, is 76. All right. Of course, it says it's not drawn to scale. It's okay. All right, now we're going to find these things. So this is not a center we've learned. This is something we learned in Unit 3, and these are called mid-segments. When a segment cuts two sides in half at the same time, so it's cutting YX in half and XZ in half, then it is a mid-segment. So JK would be half of whatever its opposite side is. Its opposite side is here. So, and we're going back, we started at the bottom, but if the opposite side is 76, we're going to divide that by 2, and it gives us 38. So this side is 38. So let's go back up to XY. XY is here. Do we have its opposite mid-segment? Right here. So the shorter, the mid-segment is half of it. Since we have the mid-segment, we are going to multiply that by 2. We're going to go 42 times 2, and we get 84. Now we're going to find JY. We are going to find this part right here. So if we know this whole side right here, we just found it was 84. We want to find half of 84 because of these marks right here. So we're going to go 84 divided by 2. We're just going backwards. So it is 42. Did we need XZ? Nope. But if we wanted to find JL, we did. but it just didn't ask us for that.